Hi, this presentation is going to be how you're going to ace your next interview. Interviews are nerve-wracking, but that's okay. Remember, this is going to be a two-way conversation with you and the interviewee. We want to make sure that this is going to be a right fit for you, as well as you're going to be a right fit for them. And also think of, this is great news that you've got an interview. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a round of applause. You're meeting their qualifications. We're just trying to make sure we're still a good choice. There's different types of interviews. The typical screening interview that's going to start with is typically going to be a phone or virtual interview. It's going to be held on phone or Zoom or Teams or something. Make sure that you do select to do a video version if you're able to. Try not to just stick with audio. It's typical interview is going to be a traditional one-on-one with the interviewer and a series of questions. But you might get a group interview where it's going to be you and other candidates vying for the role with one interviewee or maybe a couple. And then finally, a panel. I've done a lot of panel interviews where I've had 15 deans looking to interview just me. Or maybe it's going to be 3 or 4 or 5 team members that are going to meet with you. But you can be prepared. First, make sure you're doing your research on the company, the organization. You want to know everything about this place. You can find good information on Google, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, or look into doing some one-on-one informational interviews with professionals that are already working at that organization. Get some practice in. Practice the typical interview questions that you might get, like, tell me about yourself. Why this company and why now? What are your strengths and weaknesses? And then prepare some questions in advance. Some great questions to think of. Can you share your career journey with this organization? What are some of the challenges of this role? And of course, finally, what are my next steps? Keep in mind what you're wearing. You don't want to have anything baggy or too casual. In fact, try to think more professional. Maybe you have a button-up, a sweater, a blouse, ideally a jacket. Wear long slacks or skirt. Have closed-toe shoes. You might want to consider a belt. And think less is more. We want neutral colors, no crazy patterns or print, and think of minimal makeup and jewelry. You're trying to make a good impression, and this is going to happen with your posture, your firm handshake, managing your distractions like your cell phone. Put that thing away. Be mindful of your body language, your hand movements, and be sure to smile. You're trying to communicate with confidence, and this is going to happen with your posture, your vocals, and your body language. Sit up straight, speak clearly, refrain from looking at the clock or any other objects. There's all kinds of questions that you're going to get in an interview. You're going to get the typical open-ended questions like tell me about yourself or anything about your goals in the future. You're going to get questions about your qualifications. Why should we hire you? What have you done previously that is relevant to this position? You might get some situational questions. Hey, if this happens in this role, how are you going to handle it? Behavioral questions are very typical. You'll want to use the STAR method to answer those. Those are the ones asking, describe a time when. Tell me about a time when. You might get some technical questions. Can you explain your approach to this? How do you ensure the quality of that? And some personality questions. What do you do for self-care? What is your spirit animal and why? So the typical tell me about yourself question, you're going to want to answer similar to your elevator pitch. First, start with a greeting. Hi, my name is Nitro, and I'm currently a junior studying psychology at UCF. Share your experiences that are relevant. Over the past few semesters, I have gained hands-on experience through internships and leadership roles. Be specific on what those are. And then include your skills. This led me to organize student-led workshops where I've developed strong communication, project coordination, and problem-solving skills. And then finally, your goals. I am especially interested in roles that at this organization that challenge me to think strategically and contribute to team success. Another important question to practice is, what is your greatest weakness? Employers are trying to find out your self-awareness. They want to see your willingness to improve and, of course, make sure you're still fit for the role. So ideally, you don't want a weakness that's going to be something you would be doing day to day that's going to impact the job. Your weakness should be just about anything genuine, but something that you're actively working on. What are you doing to improve or strengthen that you don't have this weakness anymore? I mentioned the behavior questions to answer like a star, but you can honestly do this for any question, especially to show that you have previous experience that's going to be relevant and showcase how you're going to be able to handle this job in the future. So STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. Situation, you want to describe in detail as if they know nothing about the role, which they might not. Same with the task. Lay out the task, problem, or challenge that you're given, what your responsibilities were, what needed to be done. What action did you take? Solve the problem or meet the challenge. And then finally, don't forget the results. Did you earn an A? Were you able to meet the challenge? Were you able to finish that project in a timely manner? Employers are trying to check out your personality. They want to see if you can perform, your knowledge, your skills, your abilities. And of course, they want to make sure that you're going to be a good fit. Employers are going to also ask a question, something like, how have you encountered conflict at work? And this is a great way to implement that STAR method. So you don't want to be general and vague. You want to include the situation, the task, the action, the result, even if it means you're going to say those words as you answer the question. So a good answer would be, the situation was this. During a Marketing internship, I worked on a campaign for a nonprofit. The task, I was creating the social media calendar, and a teammate wanted to focus on email marketing, which led to some tension. The action, I set up a meeting to understand their view and shared past engagement data to support a balanced approach. And then we agreed to split focus and confirmed with our supervisor. Don't forget the result. The campaign launched successfully. Both strategies performed well, and I learned how to handle conflict through communication and compromise. Make sure you have some follow-up questions prepared. Some typical questions could be something like, what's a typical day going to look like in this role? Can you tell me more about the team I'm going to be working with? What is the immediate project that we're going to start with? Ask them about their career journey and how they got to where they are today. And then finally, if they haven't already told you, go ahead and ask, what are the next steps in the hiring process? And don't forget the follow-up. You want to make sure you follow up with an email within 24 hours of the interview, including something specific that you've learned or solidified for you that this is the right role for you, and to confirm your interest in the position. You can practice with some mock interviews, looking to make an appointment with us on Handshake, or of course, talk to your mentor or other professionals in the field. Practice on VMock. They have a great way to record yourself practicing tailored specific interview questions. Go to vmock.com/UCF, type in your NID password, and get started on some good practice interviews. With practice and preparation, this is going to happen. And of course, you have us in Career Services to support you. Look into connecting with us on social media. Check out our website.